So let's cover a very different topic. And what we can see if we open the animation blueprint. It will take some time. And go to the skeleton. Go to the skeleton, please. Where is the window? Here's the window. Here we have curves basically. And these are used within ALS, to move the body parts or blend the body parts. And it can happen. It's not easy to find out if you have this issue that some curves are not added to the skeleton. And for that, we will implement the custom utility, which then can help us to check this issue. And let's directly start with this topic when we introduce a new struct. At first we introduce a new struct, st_tt skeleton curve names. We open it, we say name, we make it an array and say curve names. Save it, close it, and you might get bored already. It's always the same structure. So let me check, where is the blueprint stuff for the editor? Here, asset, if you type it correctly we'll get this one. So when we say bp_skeleton curve functions, let's use the same naming conventions. So we override the function again, get supported class, delete the parent function, type in skeleton, yes, this one. So compile, save. Then we again need two functions. We say check skeleton curve names. Copy this into the clipboard as well, or we duplicate the function, Control D, from data table, come on, data table, compile, save, and we use as an input the data table row, yes, data table. We will also use the correct category, make it full screen again, move it here, the category. You can also use drag and drop here, compile, save. So, and if we call this function, we also use this one so that we always have the possibility to use a data table or hard-coded row. Data table, very convenient in my view. That's why we do this all the time, and we are happy every time once we do this. So we can also get those nodes here and copy them over. We may click on right click, split. Oh, how is it named? Right click, split struct pin. Connect those here, select those here, and we create a new local variable, _l curve names. Oh, it's not a boolean, it's our skeleton curve names, this one. Set the value, connect them here. Then we say get selected assets, and here of course we cast this to a skeleton. And we will need this variable here, and we need to say also split struct pin. So almost done. As you see, now it goes way quicker. So here we select this one, error, data table did not provide row. Yes, so that's fine. Compile, save. And we need also to create a data table as well. And this we create in data and say here, miscellaneous data table. So skeleton curve names. Okay. dt underscore skeleton curves. Save. Let's see if it works. We create a new row, ALS curve names, and here we will have an array. So we are very lazy and we don't want to add those curves here. We want also to have a function here. This, what we can do is if we click here and also create a new function, dump skeleton curves. Move this into the section here, and we will need, let me see, these nodes here. Yes. So let me check quickly something. Okay, so now we sadly we cannot say something here with curve. We can add a curve, but I'm not sure what this does, to be honest. I think that's something different. Get curve identifier. So here is nothing basically what would get the job done. So yeah, we need to code in C++ as well. For that we open Visual Studio and go to the header file, and we make a new section here. We say skeleton functions, and we will need two signatures basically. So basically these ones here. So basically these ones. Make it a little bit cleaner. Check. Yep, we need to change the category so that we get the same TT toolbox, and we will have a function which says, which has the name dump skeleton curve names, and check for missing curve names. And these ones will also be implemented in C++. So let me go to the end of the file here, add them here, get the library name, remove the macros, so both functions are there, and we will say true, return true, return true. Let me quickly check. Let's see if this is if this works. I'm very excited. So let's try to use live coding and see if this works. If we added new functions which were not there before. So the build seems to be fine because it takes quite some time to get it done. Live coding was fine. So let's see if we have those new functions. So we say dump skeleton curve names. Interesting. This did not work before. So I think we can just select this one here and this one. And what I think makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, if you have selected multiple ones, then we need also to print something to the console and get full get name. No, there is no. This one here. get path name. Come on. Oh, sorry. No. Append. So skeleton curve names for skeleton. This one. Yes, this should work. And we will set this here, or connect this here, connect this here. It's also here. It looks a bit terrible, but I think it's fine. We will not have more wires that might cross or intersect with each other, so we can improve it a little bit if we move the stuff here. So I'm fine with this. Maybe you can code it in a better way, but I'm totally fine with this. So we compile. So the dump skeleton curve names done. It works on the blueprint side. And here in the data table stuff, we need to say check for missing curves. Select this one, this one. So let me think quickly. Here I think we should do the same. So we copy this over to the under function, move this to the right. Yeah, we will not. We will see every time we dump to the console that which skeleton was processed or checked, and if there are no missing curves, we will just have nothing there. It's fine for me. It might not be the best way to do it, but I want to keep stuff simple here and that you can still follow. Maybe I will improve the usability a little bit later on, but for now I think it's fine. Move this also a little bit to the right, compile, save, and now we can continue in the C++ world. So we go back to Visual Studio here, and for that it's very similar all the time. We need to check input arguments. Check input arguments. Then we need to prepare. We need to get. Oh yeah, we need to get current. No, get curve names. Then what we need to do is dump curve names. And we need to do, let me think. So what we need to do as well. Yeah, I think that's fine. Oh yeah, let's use this. So and now let's code the stuff. Let's really code the stuff. So here, checking input arguments, we only have the skeleton which we need to check. It's this one here basically. If it is not valid, we raise the error message called dump skeleton curve names with invalid skeleton, so that the user knows what is going on. And then we return false. And then, that's a bit weird. We had this before. We need to ask the skeleton and call the function get smart name container, and that's a static variable. I don't know why it is like it is, but that's how it works. And if we don't get valid return curve mapping, which is a pointer, so basically we get a 9 pointer here, we raise an error message as well. Sadly, if we go into the functions there is no documentation why it could fail. Get or add smart name container with a given name. So maybe it fails, maybe not. And then I thought, oh yeah, look into the implementation, smart names, get container. And get container cannot be resolved by Visual Studio somehow. So it does not work. I don't know why. IntelliSense is messed up a little bit here. So if you ever step into this error message, please let me know what is going on, so we could debug it. But I think it's fine if you only raise this error message. And then yeah, I said failed to get curve mapping in dump skeleton curve names. Please contact the author of this plugin. So please call me if you have this issue. I would be very interested what is going on here. And then that might be a little bit terrible for you or hard to understand, but it's basically very easy. So we can then ask the curve mapping to iterate over all curve names we have. That's the only API I found to get the curve names basically. And then we can use a lambda function here. So we capture the curve names so that we can use them here and add the stuff, because we will need an array basically of names. And there we can ask the iterator, please give me a name. And this could also fail, and there's also no documentation when it could fail. So same error message, an error occurred in dump skeleton curve names while getting a curve name, please contact the author of the plugin. So if you step into this issue, I would be interested as well what is going on there, and then we need to analyze it. So now we get to the easier part. That's way easier. We can now use those lines here. So it will be an array, so we need an open parenthesis. And then we just iterate over all curve names and add them one by one. And if we have one, we introduce a comma. That's basically what is going on here within this loop. And for dumping stuff, we will use a string. It's called fstring in Unreal Engine, and we need to convert the curve name, which is basically an f name object. We need to call toString, and then we get an f string here. So then we can add the name to this existing string, and then we need to close the parentheses as well, and then we dump it to the console. So that's basically, I think we should write this here, dump curve names. Let me improve this one here a little bit. This is more like get curve names. So, and here we can say prepare dump string. So, and then the last one, which is very important for us because we are bored of using the clipboard, we call this f platform application misc and call the function clipboard copy and use the string, and then we have it in our clipboard and we can still use it. So let's see if this works. So let's go back to Unreal Engine and use live coding. I'm so interested if this works. But it should work. So yeah, build was successful. Let's move this window to another screen and go to the skeleton character asset, mannequin skeleton, and here's this ALS mannequin skeleton. Do a right click and character tools, and here we have a lot of functions already, and there should be check skeleton curve names, dump skeleton curves. So, and in the console or in the output log, sorry, I'm always saying console, I work a lot with console applications, and here we have the curve names. So what we can do now is, because we have it in the clipboard, we can do a right click and paste the stuff, and as you see, 37 curve names, which is a lot. If you want to add them manually, and this is very convenient. So yeah, it's super fast. And now we can go on with our blue utility. The blue utility, we go to the check skeleton curve names, go here to the data table, and we search for curve dt underscore skeleton curves. We select the ALS curve names. So this function here is now done, nothing more to do here, but we need to continue here a little bit and work on stuff. So here we check for missing curve names. And let me also quickly check if this worked. Let's clear the log again and see how our message looks like. So dump skeleton curves. Yeah, curve names for skeleton. Then here we have the path to the skeleton, and then we get the names. So it works perfectly fine. And I'm very, very surprised that live coding works so well in Unreal Engine 5. So I will not go back to Unreal Engine 4, to be honest, because this hot reloading did not work very well in the past, but this one works quite fine. So now we need to implement check for missing curve names. Check for missing curve names, that's this function here, and we can minimize this one. So this is done, it works. Check for missing curve names. So here we can let's copy the comments over. Here as well we need to check input arguments, then yeah, we need to get as well the curve names. Get curve names. From target skeleton. And the last check, typo. The last check is check if curves are missing in the target skeleton. So here we can again use the same if statement all the time. We check if the skeleton is valid. If not, we raise an error message and return false. Then we go on where we get the curve names. And for getting curve names, we need to do the same again. We need to get the smart name container and then we get a curve mapping object, and then we can iterate again over all curve names, store them in the array, and then we compare them basically. And for that we will use these lines here and remove the true here. So we create a boolean variable, we say has no missing curve names, set it to true, and then we iterate over all curve names to check. So basically the ones we gave from the blue utility, and ask the skeleton curve names if we have, there's a find method in this array, if we have this value, and if it returns an index none, we have a missing curve name, and then we raise this error. The following curves are missing in skeleton, because that's basically the header which we create, and then we will see a list of missing curve names. And of course we need to set the variable, the boolean variable, to false, and then we basically will see on the console which curves are missing. So let's save the file and check if our tools work. For that we go to the level again, click on the compile button for the live coding feature, and still wait if it works. So function is now implemented, but I think we are not, oh no, yeah, we are calling it already. So let's check if it works. So where is the UE5 Manny skeleton? That's Here I guess, materials, characters, meshes, and here we have the skeleton. So do a right click, scripted asset actions, character tools, and we can now check. Let's lose this one so that you can see this as well. Here we say curve, select the row, and then click on OK. And so we see there are two curves missing. The dummy curve, I don't know why this is here. Maybe it's only a dummy curve and it's not used by ALS, but this one, weight, air, and yaw offset, these are very important and we should add them so that we have a more complete integration of ALS. So in here, if we try to find this curve, I think the issue is it's used in the animation blueprint, but it's not used in any animation. That's why the curve might be missing. I had this issue with the gate curve sometimes on some characters. That's why I developed this tool here. And what we can do now is click on add curve and use the name from the clipboard and press enter. Now we have the curve here, and we can also try to see how it's set up in the ALS Manny. So yeah, it's fine. So here we have the curve. So let's go on, introduce the dummy curve, right click, add curve, enter, and the weight in air curve as well. Right click, add curve. So let me check. Oh, there's a space in front of it. So now we should have all curves there. And if we run our tool again, here, right click, scripted asset actions, and maybe use this one now, check skeleton curve names, then we will see that we have no missing curve names because we don't see this error here in the output log. So our tool is working as expected. I know it's quite a long session, but this tool might save you some time at some day when you try to integrate a custom character and the curve is missing in the skeleton. So I hope you enjoyed the session, and we will now go further with more tools and hopefully get the UE5 Manny working as well as soon as possible. See you in the next session.